What's going on, folks? Excuse me. Painless here with another video. I intend to do a video about Trump, just so I can get that out the way, about his wanting to repeal transgender individuals into the United States Armed Forces. And it's kind of like what I've been talking about all along. So look for that video. And I almost cut myself because I was about to go into some of the talking points, but I had to, I just refrained from doing that. But anyway, stay tuned for that video. If not today, tomorrow, or by the end of the week, no later than Sunday, put it that way, here very, very soon, compared to the time that I've been doing videos. You'll get this one and that Trump video no later than Sunday, so be on the lookout for that. Again, I've been doing videos about relationships, ethnicity, things like that, some things that I've experienced. I was, I have a Fire Stick, and I'm allowed to watch a lot of shows and stuff like that. I love my stick. But anyway, I was watching a show called Insecure on HBO. Watched couple episodes, and I thought it would be great material to use in this video concerning black relationships in general, dating in general, and in today's climate. And I'm not sure the names of the characters yet. Again, I just saw it last night. I wanted to do a video last night, but I was tired. I had went to the gym. I was kind of unwinding, and I happened to watch a couple episodes of that show, and then I went to bed. But I look at, black success, was kind of the focal point in why black men and black women aren't dating, which I know is silly. There are a lot of successful, very faithful black relationships. And we get into the realm of generalizing. But see, the issue I have with that, because, I have to keep qualifying myself. It can't be, it's not every black man blase. It's not every black woman blase. It's just the message that is being put out to viewers. That's my thing. So when I sit here and talk about black women or white women, of course it's not every black woman or white woman. Okay? But the viewership doesn't necessarily see it that way. That's why we have a lot of generalizing. So when they talk about, in this particular show, Insecure, you had the successful black female, college educated, I believe she was an attorney, in fact, that couldn't get a decent, in her eyes, a decent black man. Her co-worker, I believe it may have been her paralegal, an Asian woman, was able to get a black man to marry. And to me, the Asian female was a plain Jane, which is about to lead me up into what I'm about to discuss here. And I know some brothers may disagree with me on this and what I'm about to say. But anyway, the Asian female was a plain Jane to me. Not attractive to me. But which brings me to this about black men that deal with non-black women, other minorities of women, i.e. Asians, Latinos, anyone who's a minority. I I think, and I've talked about the garbage men and that of black men. That when all else fails, a lot of women know that they can go out and get a black man to kind of lock down. And I admit, man, and I tell brothers this all the time, a lot of women don't want to fool with us. They look at us no different than a black female. And I've talked about times where I've had my ex-wife's friend like black men, but didn't like black women. And she would say some things, and my ex-wife would tell me these things that she said about black women. And I've talked about a lot of you non-black women out here dealing with black men and not liking black women, and then you end up having black children. You end up having black daughters. And I hold that on the responsibility of you black men. Just like Brother Crucible, the last Crucible said, we don't bow down or submit to another woman's culture that isn't black. A lot of you guys, a lot of you black men that deal with these non-black women, these minority women, other minority women, you need to really check yourself when you're dealing with these women out here who have an affinity for black men, but don't like your mamas or your sisters, or have ill things to say about them. And you know, brothers, we talk about black women and this and that and attitude, but you know, there's a commonality that we do share. And I find out that a lot of you brothers out here that have issues with black men, and it even was highlighted in Insecure. Look, women want stability and women want surety. The thug, even though he lives life on the edge, can be potentially jailed or killed, he provides economic stability. Now, just because you try to operate legally in this world, you may come up short for whatever reason it is. You're not going to school, you're not making the right connections, you're not making the right moves in life, and you can't provide for that woman. That doesn't necessarily mean you can conjure up reasons why you don't want to deal with black women. Now, all of you know I've had a lot of things to say about black women, and some of those things I recognize. But I don't think there are enough reasons why, me personally, to just totally take black women off the shelf. Now, there are women out there that are minority women that do offer things and bring things to the table because they have that male, what's the word I'm looking for? They have that, they have that male example of what family is. A lot of times we don't have that in the so-called black community. And a woman learns how to be a woman, surprisingly enough, from a man. So when a Mexican woman comes up and she sees her father working 3-4 jobs, that's what she looks for in a man. A hard worker who's compassionate or whatever have you. A lot of times as black folks, we don't have that. You women don't have a father figure, a good enough example to know what it is in a man. Now, as superficial as it may sound, to look for somebody who's economically stable, that being the main reason, may seem, kind of shallow. But you know what? You can have all the love in the world, but you got to be able to pay bills. The thug can pay bills. You who went to school for Middle Eastern studies, now you're mad because you can't get a job, and you want a woman to submit to you, and now you can't find a woman to submit to you, and you say, oh, it's because she's got an attitude, she don't recognize me as a real man. No, I just clearly said that women, all women on this globe, no matter what ethnicity, look for a man that can provide for her. I take you back to the Stone Age, the hunters and gatherers. Those guys that could go and get the most meat got the most ass. Now you fast forward millions of years later, hundreds of thousands of years later, you trade in all those mammoth tusk and meat in for Lexuses, BMWs, 4-bedroom houses, 3,000 plus square feet homes. It's really no difference. I hope you guys understand what I just said. And that's just the reality of it. Why you think a lot of black women now are dealing with white guys? Because white guys represent stability, dominance. Yeah, they may not can whoop ass in the street, and I'm not saying all white guys don't have hands, but they're kicking our asses on the stock market. They're kicking our asses at the job. While you're down in the mailroom, he's making decisions as to whether you even have a job in a mailroom, whether it'll be a mailroom clerk position. Now, you probably could kick his ass, but, you can't really mess with him, economically. But this show was interesting. So, anyway, she was a plain Jane, that Asian chick. And I see a lot of brothers now going for plain Jane, non-black women. And, I don't know why. I don't know if these brothers... A lot of brothers are beat down emotionally nowadays. A lot of brothers are mentally weak. Men in general are mentally weak now in American society. American society has made men weak and vulturish. Just taking any damn thing they can get. I mean, I see so many black men with plain Jane females. I have to be attracted to you to want to be with you. The sex has to be good. Now, some of y'all painless, well, shoot, I'll take a flat ass and a good attitude over a big booty and a bad attitude. Well, I mean, that's subjective, a bad attitude. And even I have said that in the past. But Jen, you gotta really, I think I just kind of, a little bit, painted a picture on that. I mean, brother, are you mad because you're not doing well? And you got a black woman that demands more? Just like all these other women demand, like the Asian woman demands more from her male, the white woman demands more from her white male. Why can't the black woman demand more? So, a lot of brothers, it's not really the attitude. You're mad because she's demanding more of you and you can't deliver on that. That's what, and I'm saying that now that I'm single and getting out, because I've listened. You're really mad at your situation. Not in all cases, but I've seen 2 or 3 cases where that's the case. And I've also seen that a lot of minority women that mess with black men, some of them they don't demand much as they would if they were with their own. And I can always spot a female that deals with black dudes, especially white women. They got this certain haircut, this certain demeanor. I mean, I look on Facebook and I can just tell, and when I get to looking through photos, she got 2 or 3 mixed kids. Nothing wrong with it, but it's just this aura that certain women who deal exclusively or have this mandingo affinity with black men give off. It's something about it. And some of y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. But a lot of black women now are starting to swirl because they see economic stability. And I'm here to tell you, black women that are listening to this video, a lot of these minority women don't really offer that much. A lot of them have the same attitudes that we say that you guys have. They come fucked up, broke, damaged. It says, as black people, we let the world know all our damn problems while everybody else keeps them covered up. And this is why I say I would prefer to be with a black woman if I ever decided to be in a relationship again. I'd look for it in a black woman because deep down, she'll be able to connect with me more than a plain Jane. She'll recognize things more. And also, not to toot my horn, I have the economic stability. Now, some people like Sergeant Willie Pete call us educated lames. I mean, I don't think I'm a lame. You see, with me, I can go in a boardroom and have the gift of gab, or I can shoot dice with you and play dominoes on the weekend with you. See, I can delve in both worlds. Because my folks weren't no fool. My folks say you got to be street smart. You got to have common sense and book smarts. That's changing now, but that's cause for another video. But again, I have the economic stability to take care of a woman. But I don't walk around knowing that because there are a lot of black, and the thing with black women, see, we're beat down as a group of people. You have black women, like I'm a hot commodity, and I'm not being, cocky or nothing, but I'm a hot commodity. But I won't sip. I don't save at the same time, meaning I'm not going to save no woman. I think I made it clear in my last video. I only deal with women on a serious level that are in my tax bracket or higher. You won't catch Painless dealing with a Walmart clerk. I just won't do it. You're 40 years old and you're working at Chick-fil-A or Whataburger. I'm not going to deal with you. And that sounds very insensitive, but what does that say about me? I'm just not going to do that. I need my salary or higher. And I see nothing wrong with the woman wanting the same. We talk about being successful. What good if I'm making $84,000 a year as a black woman? This is hypothetically speaking a scenario. If I'm making $84,000 as a black female, if that was my female cousin and she was messing with a dude that made $12, $18 an hour, I'd be like, what's wrong with you? Do you know the load that you're gonna have to bear? economically, economically, socially, because he's going to be in his feelings. Because, and this is why I said a tax bracket at the same level as mine or higher. I have no qualms about a female making more money than me, because I don't have insecure issues. I don't have those types of issues. And brother, if you're making 12, 18 an hour, you can't get mad because a female that's making $84,000 a year doesn't want to deal with you. Me, I make pretty decent money. If a female made $200,000 a year and didn't want to be with me because I made $78,000 a year, I wouldn't be mad. But see, I can bring a lot to the table making $78,000 a year. I live on my own in Hawaii. If I was to move back down south, I'd be doing I wouldn't need nobody. And that's exactly how I like to feel. But see, I don't toot my own horn. I'm not one of these college-educated black men that go around thinking I'm the shit because I do and have, a certain level of success. I've been down and I've been up. It's all about being humble, being a well-rounded guy. And I think I talked about in a video I did where I've talked to a lot of minority women, and they said black guys are just too fucking uptight. Can't joke. Either you fucking or I don't want to deal with you. And as far as sex, if I really want to have sex with a female, which I'm not doing, I just kind of just breeze through life flirting. But if you think I'm going to wait over a week to get some ass, you're out of your fucking mind. I am not doing that. Because most women know, and women, correct me if I'm wrong, most women know within the first 5 minutes if they want to drop them draws and give you some. And you think I'm going to wait a fucking week? That's why I don't invest that type of time. I'm not waiting a week to have sex with you if we're both attracted to each other. Don't come with no morality shit and all that. If the feeling's there, that's my belief. Now, it doesn't mean being a hoe or anything like that. But, if it's there, you willing to risk. If something did happen that I could take care or we could do this. But, it's sex. But, that's another video. But, I'm a hot commodity. But I'm not trying to do that. So you need to really examine why you're mad at these women. Okay? I don't know. But that's my video. Peace.